Evildoers, prepare for your impending doom. This is a comic book look.
Welcome to a Comic Book Look, your weekly comic book show. Anything about comics in the industry, you want it, you got it. My name's John, @John on demand. Over here to the farthest of far lefts, my lefts. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's always right.
Stan's right.
Whatever. Tom's always right. @Tom Stu Divine over here, super awesome, super charged. In the middle here we have Skyler. And Skyler, who is running the cameras right now? Because Benny went upstairs to get another Smirnoff Ice, and he hasn't come back yet.
I don't know why he's drinking the gut rot these days.
I don't
He's
know
on
what's going on.
Mike's Hard Lemonade and Smirnoff.
It's
disgusting.
Yeah, that's why he can't make it on the couch. We can't allow that nonsense on our show.
Benny will never.
What are we, cheerleaders? Jeez.
Exactly.
Come on. So how's everyone doing?
Doing awesome, man. Issue 51.
51.
Back from a short break.
Definitely.
Excited about this movie that we all just saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you guys saw it. It's obviously this craziness has been in the news, but yeah, issue 51, and we're doing Dark Knight Return.
Dark Knight
Oh
Rises.
my God, Dark Knight Rises. Look at that, almost just blew it completely for us.
Yeah.
This is an old movie review.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I saw another show had referred to it as The Dark Knight Returns, so it's interesting that you say that, because I was like, I don't think that's what it's called.
Yeah, because
I don't believe so.
definitely that's just what comes out. I'm sorry. Definitely Dark Knight Rises, which was...
We've been waiting for it for so long that it's
epically
just like
different.
a return to the big screen for us. So,
Yeah.
certainly understandable.
But we're gonna try to keep time. Usually our movie episodes go way over, and this time we're gonna not do that, guys. We're gonna keep that 30 minutes. We're gonna still get some new segments in.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, we're not just gonna all go back to our old ways. You know, after 50 episodes, you know, we're gonna keep it real. And so we're gonna jump right into this sucker. Dark Knight Rises, third movie in the trilogy from Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
And, you know, the final one, and, you know...
Fitting end.
So I don't know, kick us off, Johnny. How are we going to do this?
Definitely. Well, you know, before we do that, though, the sound of the beer lid has my spider sense tingling a bit, and I hate that movie. I don't know why I said that. That was the dumbest joke. I'm sorry, you guys.
You do hate that
movie? It has my bat sense going on.
But it doesn't matter, because it's all about the comics.
Whatever. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. But, Skyler, over here, what are you... It's very dressed up, might I add. Very
Benny,
what?
as in Benny will never get to be a part of your segment because he would try to get Smirnoff Ice in this month, and it's just not going to happen.
He did get me to use the Booby Sturgis bottle cooler.
That's how we do it with Sodak.
And I'll tell you about this beer that I'm drinking here in 6-pack of the month. Six-pack of the month this month is from Tommyknocker Brewery. It's a brewery I can always put my faith in. I have tried a handful of their beers. I've never been let down. I always remember a brewery that gives me at least one or two that I'm not a big fan of because I have a pretty eclectic taste. I like all the different kinds of brews, you know, wheat beer, Dunkelweiss, Hefeweizen, stouts, IPAs. I like them all. And here we have, it's an Imperial Nut Brown Ale and brewed with pure maple syrup. This is a beer pretty much anyone can get behind, and it being August, this is kind of ushering in the fall for me. It's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit darker, you know, it's good for a cool night, you know, a little bit brisk outside. You go sit outside, you know, you have to put a sweater on, drinking a Nut Brown Ale, and right when you open it, you can smell kind of, you know, it's not your classic beer smell. It's a little nuttier. It's a little sweeter. And that's exactly what the beer follows through with on flavor. It's got a nutty start, a thicker beer, and you can actually, it tastes like there's just maple syrup poured right in the bottle. It gives it a really sweet end, and I'm not a big fan of fruity beers. That's one of the few things I really stay away from. And sweetened beers with this and that, lemonade, all that, I can really care less. But maple syrup brewed beers are always good. It's a nice complement to the beer flavor. So that's your beer for the month, Tommyknockers Imperial Nut Brown Ale. And we'll go back to the couch.
Skyler, are you going to just talk about beer every single time, man? It has nothing to do with comics.
It's only once a month, and it has
You'll have
everything
other
to do with our
segments,
show.
though. He's doing indie.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally
He's
just
doing
kidding. I
it.
love your segments, man. And Tommyknockers, this one was named after me. I loved it. Great segment. Let's jump right into this. Dark Knight Returns. John, you want to start us off? Should we give us a kind of a rundown of...
Yeah. Hold up, pause. I gotta admit to the viewers, I totally didn't even know we were filming. So then I was like, well, what the fuck? It was a great segment. I was sitting over here looking at you guys like, what? Oh, my bad. Sorry,
Gotcha,
guys.
John. Fourth
I know.
wall, John.
Jeez, you guys. Oh, so unprofessional. Goodness.
Oh, no way. We got the good natural reaction.
Yeah.
Come on, Tom. Just let him do it.
Just let him do it. Yeah, I give him approval. I'll sign the permission slip. So anyway, yeah, okay. So we're talking about Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Just.
Oh my God, we did it again, dude. Are you
Rises.
kidding me? Okay.
And I'm only 2 in. God. All right. Well, anyways, guys. First of all, just kind of an overview on the movie in terms of the societal impact that this is having. One, it's a movie that, Batman, as we talked about like in multiple previous episodes, is this comic icon that everybody knows about in some way or another. Like, you don't even need to read the books or anything. Oh, Batman, or oh, he's a superhero like Batman, blah, blah, without even knowing much about him. So you have that iconic status where I haven't been paying attention to the numbers, but I'm confident that is meeting the Avengers head on. In terms of theater turnout.
I don't know.
Sales.
I'm sure it's a little under the Avengers, but I'm sure they're
know.
doing fucking awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And better than Spider-Man, thank God. But with that, we kind of have that cloud of uncertainty about it just based on the events in Colorado. We, from a comic book look, do, send our prayers and thoughts out to Colorado regarding that, because that could have been any showing at any theater, and, anyone that's going to that midnight showing, just has to love comics and, Batman as a character, and I can't even imagine.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's the most terrible thing that I've heard, and why would you ever do this to put a stigma on this movie? The last movie already has enough death around it with Heath Ledger dying after it, and it's just a completely terrible, stupid thing that happened, and it really pisses me off when I think about it. And so from a comic book look, all three of us, even Benny, we say, we're thinking about you guys and anybody that it affects. So definitely. So now with that said, let's try to be partial and not have some stupid thing that happens like this that gets me upset. Have anything to do with how I actually view the movie is what I'm trying to do, because it just drives me crazy that somebody would do this at a movie theater at a Batman show, and now then it's an amazing movie. So it's like I don't want this stupid, senseless act to take away from the main awesomeness that Christopher Nolan pumped out for us.
And boy, did he ever! All three of us were treated like royalty for the extent of that movie. It was awesome. Like, I was just, a few times I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool, And, me, of course, I'm always rooting for Bane. There's a lot of strong points. We're going to get into that, but it was just a great experience, I thought. And it was such a relief compared to what we went through with Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. I know.
You know what I mean? And Ghost Rider. So having that awesome movie definitely made my summer.
I agree. Like, coming off Spider-Man and being so terrible, but having that high that Avengers give us, this is such a contrasted film to the Avengers, where the Avengers is such a Marvel over-the-top movie, and this is such a crime story, where this sucker's how long? 3 hours, or like almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes, and you're talking 40 minutes with Batman actually in the frames, 2 hours of other things that Batman. I don't know if that's actual time. I'm not quoting anything, but I would just say that it is, and it's just insane that kind of number is pumping out. That's so awesome that you can have a Batman story, have this be a Batman movie, but you just make so many other players a large part of the movie that it becomes an epic that it was. 2 hours and 45 minutes, not, that's you're really going for it there. And so...
and the only reason he can do a movie that long is because he has you invested for 2 movies.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know that you're going to stick through for the entire story, and they can put a lot more things. They brought a lot of things in from the first 2 movies. The second movie didn't do that so much.
Yeah.
But this one,
well, they did a little bit. I mean, it still opened with Scarecrow.
I mean, that's true.
So that, it did as much as it didn't with Ra's al Ghul. It totally did still have Scarecrow and other things in the second one. It's like, he's always thinking about that stuff. Crazy.
It's funny too. There's just the time I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I just was wired the whole time. Like I was biting my nails like a little Girl Scout. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I heard an NPR interview with him that I don't remember what show it was on, but how he said, he's like, we just hope at this point people can understand that they're going to give us a chance to really wow them, or give us that time to give you the full story. And I'm so glad he took that opportunity. And it's daunting to try to go have your third movie be this big epic superhero movie on a scale that I've never seen before. And it was tied in all these great storylines. It was just it was great. The basic story of this Batman Rises, spoiler warning right here, will be, obviously we're late. You guys, we've given you plenty of time to see this now. So
if you haven't already, it's your fault.
Exactly, and you better be discussing what you think of it below. Batman, been out of it for a long time. From the Dark Knight Returns, Harvey Dent died, and it was blamed on Batman. Batman had to take the fall for that. It's always 8 Gordon, that's the way it's gone, but that's the way it had to go, so Harvey didn't look like Two-Face, and this Joker, like everything that happened in Dark Knight Returns. And so Batman has been away from Gotham. Gordon has the streets clean in Gotham, and then a new threat comes back, and Bane comes. Batman needs to come back to try to stop Bane. They have this all-out war. Gotham goes with no man's land, which we've talked about before, is my favorite, crossover of all time when we were talking about events or crossovers.
Yeah.
Batman knows man's land. That's like exactly what this movie is. And then you see how Batman saves the day. And dies, possibly. Who knows? Maybe he does. I don't know. You're going to have to watch it for sure. But totally great storyline. As I was saying before, you can totally see where they took specific plot lines through all these awesome storylines, like where Bane breaks Batman's back, where No Man's Land is, and all these just small little things that they take from different storylines, make this one, world out of it, make this Batman that exists in these 3 movies, that is different from the other Batmans, but still is the Batman we know. And they make an epic movie, and I loved it. We're not even to ratings yet, but I'll tell you right now, I'm giving it a 6-pack. So, loved it. How about you guys?
There it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Boom goes the dynamite. If we're gonna jump right to ratings, I'm gonna give a 4.5. 5.5. We'll just go 5. Make it easy.
Okay.
5 out of 6.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah, exactly. We're doing 6-packs.
Yeah,
Don't leave a wounded soldier
half a
around.
beer, you can't. Exactly. Someone will find it in the morning on the way out the door anyway.
Exactly. Are we doing ratings? Alright, well, honestly, I'm going to go ahead and give it I am going to give it a 6-pack. I am. It's not on behalf of Batman, however. that was probably one of the weakest reasons why I like the movie, to be frank with you. And we'll go into that. Tom's laughing. He's not surprised. Tom's laughing because he's
Of course not. It's just so funny.
But no, seriously, phenomenal film. We're going to get into it a little bit. I don't want to be the bad guy here, but we're going to be doing a little time pinch. So let's kind of just break it down into the simple things. What we didn't like first, and then we'll get into what we did like, which I suspect will probably be a little bit bigger because it's a great film. But let's go ahead and start with kind of some of the things that have an opportunity to improve, as we say at work.
Alrighty. What are the shitty parts? I'll just get my shitty part right out of the way. I still don't like Christian Bale's voice when he is Batman. I don't need the extra size. I am God. And when I go to God, Gordon will come.
But he has to disguise his voice somehow.
I know.
Yeah,
you can do it better than that.
It's sounding lame.
Also, funny when Batman puts the mask, just the regular mask on, and goes into Gordon when he's in the hospital room. And has to use I'm still Batman. It's just so funny. And then also the whole thing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt being Robin and having his, you should go by your, at the very end, they're like, you should go by your real name. Robin.
This little old lady.
I totally agree.
It's
with
like
that. How lame was
just
that?
either throw. I mean,
Right.
you have so many choices to choose for your Robin. You just make it be a name that is actually a name of the person. You got Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. You know, what's the one that's Damian Wayne. I mean, you have a great pick at.
And what do
Robins you can choose. Why don't you just have him be Detective Drake or Grayson? But yeah, so that was the only two things I didn't like about it. Skyler?
See, that's one of the things that always gets me about these comic book movies is they go so far with the there's the back and forth dialogue and the quick punchlines, and sometimes it gets cheesy. But in every movie, there is just a handful of these punchlines that just get way out of hand. And because they go, and it's just way too cheesy. It's like, I can't think of a specific example. No using guns. Where's the fun in that? And it is pretty funny. That's kind of to Selena Kyle's character. But, and there's handfuls more. You watch the movie, you'll catch them. And it was like Spider-Man, watch it, I'm swinging here.
Oh my god.
And I can't believe that they let that line through, And it was just things like that. And, the way they started Selena Kyle out, they hit it for me so well, even though I knew Catwoman was going to be showing up. But I kind of hated the fact that I didn't know that this was Catwoman coming in. But I loved how they did it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were just dumb.
It just had me a little bit frustrated that I didn't know because I knew.
Anne Hathaway, the third famous person in this movie, she's gonna play the maid.
I knew she was Catwoman going in,
exactly.
And I still saw her, and I'm just like, she did like a princess movie. It was her first.
Yeah, exactly.
Princess Diaries. There we go.
Like 1, 2, and 3.
Are we keeping a comic
so,
here or what?
It threw me off, Maybe she is just this good, innocent maiden. She's going to walk in there and put the dish on the table and walk out. And just, what is she doing?
We're reaching some new lows.
But it is hard to find something I didn't like about this movie.
No, I love that.
That was one of the things.
I think that's a great. I love. It's different for every person. That's awesome. I totally knew as soon as I saw Anne Hathaway, I was like, Catwoman.
But I'm so glad it was Anne Hathaway's Catwoman too.
Yeah.
It's my new favorite thing.
But
on to you.
You're
that's
up,
all I've
John.
got.
Oh, no.
Take a deep breath. I know it's going to be a long list.
This is going to be a long list. 1, no poison ivy. No, I knew better, you guys. I knew better. Come on. But a guy can hope, right? But no, seriously, the one thing, I got 2, actually, items. The voice really bothered me. At work, we make fun of it nonstop. Like, where is he? He's on break. Oh, okay. Like that kind of stuff. We'll just prank each other. Yeah. So, when I read comics, I don't want to hear that voice, right? So
you think it now, don't you?
It bothers me. It really does. Like, is that really necessary?
Exactly.
I don't know. So,
is that really necessary?
I don't know.
That's like,
the other thing. Wow, God must be angry with me. My review's not doing well. John, stop being a jerk. But you know, the main thing that really bothered me about this movie. Someone acknowledge Alfred as a character and give him some love. The Avengers
he just walked away.
The Avengers had balance in the film. Where did we go wrong? Because Alfred is such a strong focal point in the storyline.
I can't believe I forgot to mention that.
Right, exactly. And I just thought he got overlooked. I don't care if he was away, if he was out sewing crochet or what, you know, whatever. But he was downplayed horribly in this movie, and that angers me. I mean, the actor, he probably got paid, whatever, but the character, I wanted more Alfred. You
Dude,
know?
I never even thought about that.
Right. Like,
You're totally
you know
right.
what I mean?
I mean,
like,
just
where
think,
was he?
and it's kind of out of character for Alfred to be like, Bruce, you're on your own.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like that he all of a sudden was so against him being the hero. I mean, he kind of has been a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been saying it, but you know, he is always at Bruce's side.
Exactly.
He is his best friend, his sidekick, almost in a sense, and you know, he's his butler, and I'm sure he gets paid handsomely for it, but he's always been there as more than just a paid help.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I agree that he really did get passed
Especially
over.
with the, you know, just some of those recent books that we've been reading too. Just what a good, you know, he's a great character, great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him personally, obviously, but you know, we'll have a beer sometime.
I feel like I do, you know,
Yeah.
after reading him forever,
But
and
phenomenal.
I know him well enough that he probably wouldn't have done this.
Right.
You know, but
So, you know, kind of a twist in the movie, but you know, I mean, and that's my complaints about the movie. I suppose the bad things. I am going to steal the show. Speaking of bad, so I just want to talk about some awesomely bad things really quick in my segment. These are a few of my favorite things. Hey guys, John from A Comic Book Look here. I'm just rocking out with my new segment. These are a few of my favorite things. You know, it's kind of, every Wednesday it just seems to be kind of a Christmas list for me in terms of good books, and I've been fortunate lately to not really have so many rough weeks. Been picking up a few new things, kind of getting some Star Wars titles, believe it or not.
John, you forgot your glasses.
Oh, whoa.
John, here.
Oh, sorry guys.
Take those things off. Put the real ones on. Such a fool. There you go. Now you're all Darth Maul up.
Boom. Alrighty. So, now that I'm appropriately geared out, we have not one but two books. And these are from Dark Horse Comics. So, not Marvel or DC. I'm all about getting away from the new 52. God damn it. The big two. Excuse me. But you know, seriously, guys, I'm a big Star Wars junkie, always have been. Read a ton of the novels. I got some work to do to catch up on those. But these comics have just been off the wall, just great. So I just wanted to get into that really quick. Star Wars Blood Ties, Boba Fett is Dead, issue 4 of 4. Boba Fett's one of my favorite issues growing up. I loved Boba Fett. Had the action figures, had Slave One, his ship, a t-shirt here and there, probably some keychains for my book bag, you know, all that stuff, and it was a good time. This book, equally, is also a good time. I really just want to give a hats off to Tom Taylor. He's the writer of both books that I'm actually talking about today, and he did just a really great job on that. This book, actually, it's really grimy, gritty. Boba Fett was perceived to be dead. Turns out, spoiler alert, he's actually not. It's funny because I just started trying these comics out last month, so I've been picking them up, and it's seamless reading for me because it takes me back, but it's something new, it's something fresh. And that's what I like, is expanding on that universe, as long as they do it right. Because when you get, you know, your episode 1 or episode 2s with Jar Jar Binks or whatever, not crazy about kitty crap like that, let's be frank, you know. But the universe as a whole has so much potential, so much story, and that's what we're about here at A Comic Book Look, is something that has quality and something that people can identify with. If it's a conversation piece, boom, all over it. So anyways, the highlight of my day, however, was picking up the most divine character of all here, Darth Maul, and this is Death Sentence. This is issue number 1. I mean, just, you see any similar? I don't know. Maybe if you had a goatee, I don't know. But, you can't keep a bad Sith down, is the word. Great book overall. Starts out with a band of, people that got hired by a minor operation. They send some pheromone-leaking alien in, thinking that this alien's going to persuade them to come out willingly. He gets hovered out, gasping for life, because they're choking him force-wise, and then they snap his neck. Dank. They then go in as a group, Wookiees with me, guns first, and Savage Opress is Darth Maul's kind of brother, I guess, kind of a clan thing, and the two of them just rape the squad of people with their lightsabers and with their anger and hatred and all things that are Sith, and it is just epic. I mean, you guys, if Chuck Norris was a comic book, right here, bitch, it was great. It was so cool. All in all, I totally recommend, if you guys do want to get familiar with the reemergence of Darth Maul, I got 2 steps for you, and they're really easy. One, you gotta definitely tune into Star Wars Clone Wars, because that's where the reemergence actually happens, where you meet Darth Maul. He is bananas insane, because he got cut in half in the movie. He's attached to these, like, mechanical spider legs now. It's really weird in the show. And in the comic here, they got him on 2 stable legs, but they're mechanical. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of a bummer, but he is so badass. And he is a character that is going to rock your socks. So I totally recommend that you check it out. Darth Maul Death Sentence number 1. You guys know the drill. Keep it comics.
That was a great segment, John. You did a great job, man. As always, just had me on the ground laughing the whole time. Jesus, your segments are fun.
You know what? I think it's funny how people love that boner in the sweatpants one.
I think,
just fucking love that.
Well, that was a hilarious joke.
The picture?
Yeah, that was also funny.
That was the only one I could find on Google.
That was a tough one. Was typing in boner in sweatpants in Google Images. Ugh. You never know what you mean with
The
that.
thing is, I Googled it at my parents' house. Am I going to sit on Mom's computer and type boner in sweatpants? I don't know.
Next time she goes to look up, like, buttermilk pancakes, she types in B and it's
Oh, boner in sweatpants. Who is this?
Alright, back to it. We're always going off on tangents. Let's talk about Dark Knight Rises. What are our favorite things? John, you want to keep going here? You're on a roll.
I'm on a phenomenal roll. So, you know what my favorite thing was Bane. Bane, disclaimer, actor of Bane, whatever.
Tom Hardy.
If you want to do a beer sometime, just, seriously though, what a kick-ass character, you guys. How vivid, how simple it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what he did. He broke it down by the numbers. And what an interesting rendition of the character, because what I'm used to is the all brawn, like the kind of bullshit version, to be honest with you, from my favorite movie that has Poison Ivy in it, because it has Poison Ivy in it. I know it's not a good movie, you guys. I know, but I love Poison Ivy. I love Poison Ivy.
I love your face that you make before you tell us that that's your favorite Batman movie.
But you know what I mean? But I know it's not a good movie, but the Bane in that was kind of bullshit.
Obviously, he couldn't even talk. He's not the Bane from the comics at all.
I love this educated, this calculating, mean machine. If you want to have dinner sometime, call me. But anyways, in all seriousness, what a great character. And, I'm going to keep mine short because I know we got just tons of great things to say about it. The other thing, though, Anne Hathaway, hats off to you. You surprised everyone. Because you were getting a lot of guff before the movie hit the screens, I can tell you that. People were like, no way, just, based on Anne Hathaway. I mean,
based on, Princess Diaries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's done a lot of way out there roles, though. Check out Havoc and some other different things.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a great actress.
But this is definitely a huge feather in her hat. And hats off to you, my dear. If you ever want to have a beer sometime, same offer. Or me, you, and Bane. It'll be fun. 3 villains.
Definitely. Those are some great things.
I guess she's kind of not a villain, though.
Yeah, she's still a villain, though. She's still Catwoman. She plays the in-between.
And, you know, the other thing, too, I guess, along with that is I read Catwoman on a monthly basis, so I really did feel that, well, the punchlines and jokes, you know, maybe, but it was fitting for the character, you know, so that's kudos to the writer on that, and also kudos to her for pulling it off. I liked it, you know, but I'm a big Catwoman junkie, so salute.
All right, Sky, what'd you like?
I'm going to have to back Jan up on the character of Bane, and to not repeat anything, I loved that they did not show a villain's face. It's always great when you don't see the full face, or you don't ever, it's better when you don't ever even see a glimpse of the villain. It could be anyone, you don't know. And I loved that, you know, his face never, you know, the mask started breaking up, and I was just hoping that they didn't display, you know, his full face. And I think they might have actually shown his face while he was down in the prison, but this
at the very end. I mean, that was just this, and it was.
This was years ago, and it was a completely different actor, and you know, who knows what he might look like now.
It wasn't a different actor, but no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yes, Catwoman, and mostly the wardrobe, I think, was one of my favorite things about the movie. And the way that they tied everything in from, you know, they brought a lot of things back from the first movie, the second movie. They stacked everything very well. Once again, shot just beautifully. These just extraordinarily wide shots of the entire island of Gotham. And
it was
just, it's awe-striking almost, these wide shots of the city. And it's just very well put together.
Yeah, totally. Chicago is such a great Gotham. That's what they use, and it's such a good Gotham. I mean, I'm just so glad they don't do New York or LA.
Or Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls might work as well.
What a twist.
And I'm glad you said wardrobe as well,
Yeah.
because, I mean, they are just on point, dude. Right down to, like, you know, Robin's police suit just fitting him so much better than everybody else's that he looks like a great police where everybody else does not.
Stands out.
Yeah, I mean, and he's wearing the same suit. It just that small little detail, and all those kind of little details are just for the wardrobe. Bane's, you know, his leather sheepskin big overcoat, so good, so good.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Some other things that I liked about it was definitely the score was good.
Agreed.
I
Soundtrack's awesome.
I love that they could have done it again and made another 2-hour movie or 2 hour and 50-minute movie, but they went for it, and they brought you a full epic. I love that we saw the whole entire story of Batman being away, coming back, getting back, being broken, having to get back from being broken, then having to, you know, I mean, it was just like nonstop. I also love the very opening scene. Nolan has this thing with opening scenes. I think that is one of his things, is an opening scene that needs to grab you. Whereas other movies say they need to do that, but they just don't. Where his opening scenes are bomb. I mean, the plane scene with your introduction to Bane, so good. And also so good as Bane's voice was so good compared to Batman's, and to have it be so odd and weird sounding as it did,
I like that.
I was just chilling.
Yeah, I loved
Every
it.
time he talked, you were just so engaged,
Exactly.
Go see it again.
and it just sent shivers down your spine.
And I also, you know, just these are just nitpicks. These, something that I didn't like though is like you never get the juice in, you know, Bane, where he's like he juices and then he grows like 9 feet. You know, obviously you can't do that as well. And I like to point out that I don't know if what you guys were like, but as with the Avengers, I see one trailer and then I never watch them again. And so with this one, I saw the trailer for the Super Bowl a long time ago, and I have covered my eyes and my ears in many a movie to not see any trailers.
And this
so
is
it was
exactly why
so happy that I did.
I forgot that Anne Hathaway was playing Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because I saw the trailer with Anne Hathaway's face, and I saw the trailer with her goggles over her face,
Yeah.
and it's been months. It's been a long time, and so I just completely forgot. And I meant to do it this way. Anytime something comes up about the new Batman movie,
It's a good idea.
you just change the channel because they really give away some of the better moments.
Exactly, they always do, and it's just like, if I'm sold already, if I'm not sold, I'll watch the trailer. But if you sold me already, if I know I'm going, it's like, I don't want to
enjoy it.
Well, yeah, dude.
I
Great.
totally agree with that. You know, and there was one other favorite I did want to point out. I'm sorry. Jonathan Crane being the judge.
Oh,
what
dang it. I forgot to point that out, too.
A good tie-in, because we mentioned Scarecrow in the second movie. He's in all
these things.
Having Scarecrow in all 3 movies
How consistent.
is genius.
We love continuity.
It's so comic booky.
Yeah.
It's so comic booky to have the Scarecrow just coming back.
For once, the same actor all the way through
Yeah, I
on
like
one of these
that
kind of
character.
movies.
Jonathan
There's
Crane.
Christopher Nolan in all 3 of these that does not have an actor change. And he's the kind of director that he doesn't get actor changes.
Nope.
You know, people are waiting to make his movies.
But I thought that was really cool. I was like,
Yeah, totally. And I loved his throne of just random boxes and crates and
Just everything stacked up to one elegant desk on top of this shit pile.
no matter which choice you choose is death for everything.
Exactly. It's kind of a good, you know, it's kind of funny chord, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great comic booky little thing.
It was fun. And it was interesting too. The other thing I kind of liked, I guess. God, John, shut up. After this, no more Hallmark moments. But you know, Catwoman worshipped this idea of this kind of a Gotham, and then she kind of had that turnaround. Once you get what you want, all of a sudden, maybe it's not such a good
maybe
idea.
the grass isn't
You know what
so
I mean?
green on
Right.
the other side.
Standard
So I
Catwoman.
did, and I did appreciate that moment. So.
Yeah, definitely. But overall, great movie. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful movie that I can't wait to see again and again.
They even go see it in the theaters once again.
Exactly.
I'll pay the money.
I'll go to the
I would
$3
too.
theater.
Yeah.
$4 now, but
Oh, is it $4 now?
yeah, I made the jump.
Jerk.
It's still the cheap seats.
I was gonna
so.
say, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, you know where to get at us. Tell us what you thought of Dark Knight Rises. Tell us what your favorite parts were, what you didn't like. If you have any show ideas, get at us. We're coming hot with a special episode next week. And I mean super special. I know the 50th episode was special, but next week is going to be bomb.
52 for sure, man.
So, yeah, definitely. And, Comic Book Look at gmail.com. Comic Book Look Facebook group. All of our Twitter handles. You can find everything. IMJ every single Tuesday. Be there, or, just get off the interwebs.
Definitely. Well, you guys, again, I just want to take a moment, too, just to kind of thank you guys for the support. 50 episodes is such a huge milestone. I know we touched on it, but, again, we just really thank you for sticking with us, for, contributing your ideas and bringing what you want to talk about to the table, because that's what we're about. So, again, seriously, any suggestions that you have, shoot them our way. We listen to you, we hear you, and we love interacting with you. We totally enjoy it. So, anyways, you guys do know the drill, like Tom said. IMJ Nation, we're representing, and we're just going to keep bringing it awesome. So,
You know it.
you know the drill. Keep it comics.